Hey there. So today I'm coming with a different kind of video, one that I've wanted to do for a little while now that technically my first year of college has come to an end. I'm not free from college, but I have completed all the work that I was told would make up this year. And as a part of that, I wanted to create a reflection on how I have felt and how I have developed over this not even technically a year from September 2023 up to like May June time. And yeah, I just want to go about the build up to college and where I am now. Basically, I mean, from when I was first, getting through GCSEs and thinking of what was going to come next to what has come next and where I stand now. So yeah, this is the journey. I eventually settled on my college I went to, my games design and VFX course, knowing there would be a lot of changes along with this choice. New people, new routines, new knowledge. That made the choice even easier. I knew I needed a change from being around the same people for 5 years, some people a decade, and this is my opportunity to grow. Having my sights set on this course really made the GCSE process a lot less stressful. Before my final year, I chose computer science and graphics design because I felt programming and design would be a requirement for what I wanted to do, which was partially correct. My course only required a grade 5 in maths and a pass in everything else, something I was already achieving at the beginning of my final year, so I could revise a healthy amount instead of overworking myself. And my option choices didn't help me in the ways I thought they would when I moved into college. In computer science, we learned Python, which isn't a largely popular coding language, which we would practice once every 2 weeks in my first year of GCSE, but never in my second. This tarnished my relationship with coding. In graphics design, this did help develop my creative skills and the production that I would actually follow throughout college. But we used Adobe Fireworks, a discontinued software replaced by Photoshop, which the computers in my school couldn't handle. So basically, all the skills I was developing 2 years before I would begin this journey would actually help me through the year I have gone through, which doesn't help in the slightest. A completely new environment full of new people and everything, and all the skills I've gone through and gotten graded on was pointless, completely pointless. Didn't help me really. Obviously, like I mentioned, the production in graphics design was a big sort of help. Having all the, taking images, following, writing about them, and all the stuff would help for my portfolio and the cycle I went through when creating something, especially in 3D, where there is a lot to 3D, so it really helped in that area. Computer science, as mentioned, ruined coding for me. Any programming related stuff was ruined. It wasn't fun. We never got help. It was atrocious, really. But when it did come to programming, it was a lot better. I learned C++. I mean, not like to a very advanced level, and we stopped it after March time. It was a lot better, a lot more relaxed, and we got the help we needed, which is something we didn't get. I had, as mentioned, no experience of what I was about to learn through this year. So, starting the year, I was not only nervous to be around new people, but if I would even take up any of the new skills that would soon be shown to me. I was very quickly introduced to the software that I would be using to make my projects and took interest in a lot of different aspects of each software. The work I would complete would then be placed onto a portfolio, which I would add as much detail I could about my skills. The big thing I remember from this period of my first year was development with my 3D skills as well as my VFX work with the different particles. Getting towards Christmas time, I drew some concepts for some lightsabers, which I then designed in 3D, and took it into the same software as my VFX work. Just this subtle development in these skills would come to benefit me in my 3D assignments when I would learn to texture and unwrap later down the line. Although I also saw meeting new people to be a positive, I kept to myself a lot. avoiding groups of people, and staying with myself, focusing more on what I wanted to do in a lesson over having interactions with people. This did benefit me in terms of how I worked and the scope that I would bring my attentions to. But now I realise that having even just one friend can be just as fun as having 10 friends. As previously mentioned, all my work that I create can be put onto my portfolio for it to be marked and looked at as a development of skills. However, up until around February of this year, my own and many others didn't change. This was down to the 2 weekly hours being assigned to animation, not portfolio, and having come from secondary school where you do as the teacher says, not what you wish, no one was going to oppose this. Personally, I used this lesson to catch up or continue work ahead of lessons, so I was more prepared for the rest of the week. We all got told that if work wasn't being done and portfolios weren't being updated more regularly, it would lead to early starts and 5-day working weeks, and I didn't want that, so I made the decision to work not only during college times, but to then continue home and continue to work even more. This worked really well. All my previous assignments, current work, and everything in between was now my portfolio, and my attention would move back to designing more things and working on more assignments. This led to me uploading lots of files and images and videos that would start taking up the 500 megabytes of storage I get with the free version of my portfolio. By March, all of that space was used, and I was slowly to stop adding while I figured out a way to fix this storage issue, as well as having an exam coming up which took most of my attention away. At first, my idea for fixing this storage issue was to delete all non-essential videos from my portfolio, swapping it for images, and then the essential videos would get a lower quality version and a higher quality on my personal YouTube channel. This did take roughly 475 megabytes down to 350, which was a massive improvement, but would later prove to not be enough in the long run. Once again, I didn't make any real friends that I felt like I could approach and just talk to with at this point, and it was starting to take an effect on me. I would get up, be at college from 10 a.m, work till 4 p.m, have an hour bus journey home, then work all evening up until about 10:30 p.m. on more stuff, and it's very lonely. I did obviously eventually force myself to make just one friend, and that has benefited me a great deal. This allowed for me to take a break from all this work and have some fun over the weekend instead of slowly burning myself out. With my exam done, a friendship developing, and my knowledge growing, I could focus on finishing my current work ahead of the plethora of assignments that were yet to come. And with that came the storage issue once again. This produced the question of, why don't I upload this to YouTube and use up no space at all? So as of April 16th, M446 was created, and I started uploading the first wave of videos that had been modified in quality and put onto my personal channel. Noticeably, I left most of my videos as public uploads for people to see. This felt right to me since I was proud of what I had created, and if only one person was interested in my work, then that was enough for me. Uploading these very short videos would allow for me to embed the links onto my portfolio for people to view there. This did also half my total storage use, which was brilliant, meaning my final assignments could be able to take up as much space as I wanted without my portfolio suffering, especially 3D lightsaber weapon. I was able to render 4K images and then put all of them 4K images on there, which obviously did take roughly 50 megabytes, but having halved my storage and these being my last assignments, it didn't matter to me all that much. My final projects came around before the start of May and were done within swift time. This was mainly down to my experience I had gained from my dedication to developing my skills, as well as having nothing better to do after college was done. The speed with my assignments had led to the last few weeks of time I have on my portfolio to become empty and to leave me with little to do. I didn't want my skills to stop with what I had. One evening, I stumbled across videos showing the power of cinematics inside of Unreal Engine and introduced me to character animation. I never really enjoyed the creation of 2D animation, and 3D was only simple creations. But this really interested me. needing to create some incredible renders, as well as developing my sequencer skills and learning about the foliage tools inside of Unreal Engine. This is something I mastered quickly, and I've begun working on animating characters for games, learning about the different pieces that make up character animations. This is a very new skill for me, and something I haven't practiced much, but it's a skill I learned independently, which is incredible. Finally, reflection. If you put myself from a year ago in front of me and I showed him all of the great works I would make in the space of a year, tell him about some of the incredible people I would interact with and the memories I have come to make with friends, I think he would laugh. A whole year of work, a lot of change over the year. To put that into perspective, 3D, Minecraft model from September 2023 to my 3D weapon from April 2024. Games design, my starting point recording from September 2023 to my 3D platformer from May 2024. In animation, my 2D ball bouncing from September 2023 to my character animations from May 2024. My VFX particle showcase from roughly September to December 2023 to the short film test footage from May 2024. I think this development is not only a personal achievement, but inspiration, not just for me, but for everyone. Writing this in May, I haven't technically spent a year working on these projects, but if I can develop these skills in that much time, so can anyone. Anyone can create something they love and something they can be proud of. Just remember to take a break and to socialize. Sometimes working with others can open you up to new learning experiences and lead to great things. All you have to do is believe that you can make something great, that you can do anything you want. Nothing can stop you from being creative. Thank you for listening to my little reflection piece, I guess. I originally didn't think I'd actually do anything with the reflection I wrote, but I think with the development that my skills have been going down, it should be there to sort of set apart the divide between what's next. Obviously, getting into June now of this year, I've got about 2 months left of my first year of college, where it will be it won't be learning as much as I have the past year. It'll be more of an experimental time for skills. So I wanted to sort of leave a mark where you can see the end of the first year. Obviously, I've created a playlist which is every single piece of work in order from September to 2024, where it should just be one straight path of where it started and how it was developing over time. I'm going to create this playlist as a way of seeing all the work I did in my first year, so that during the holidays, anything I work on myself or what comes next in year 2 can just be seen on its own now, and you can still easily access all the year 1 work. Thank you for listening to this silly little reflection. I hope this inspires you to create and to be creative, because everyone has ideas, everyone has their own thoughts, and to let them thoughts die because you don't think you can do or learn anything. If you put in the dedication and the time to learning skills, then you will be able to do what you want to do.